into the 411 for your fantasy football with your host, Autumn Wind Williams.
What's going on, everybody? This is Autumn Wind Williams. You're now listening to the 411 for your fantasy football on YouTube or wherever you stream your podcast in your pocket. And we are now inside of week 4 for the NFL DFS season on Fanduel, Draftkings, Yahoo, wherever you're playing. If you're playing season long, whatever. I'm just giving you advice of guys I'm going to be playing in my lineups. I'm just checking roster percentage right now. I'm trying to check to see who's injured for the weekend and make sure I don't have them guys in my lineup when it's time to hit that lock button. And if they're questionable, putting them in my flex position, especially if it's a late game for late swaps. And I'm just trying to just do my whole entire roster construction inside of my head and put it in my lineups. So, I'm just going to go with the flow with this video. I wasn't going to make a video again on YouTube or do the podcast because, when it's a lot of lurkers, when you see your stuff getting views, but people are like, they haters, man. They don't want to click like, they don't want to subscribe, they don't want to even hit the dislike button, or comment, so it's occasionally when you see that happen, you appreciate it from people taking time after I take my time, whether it's a 10, 15, 20, 30-minute video. If I take my time out to make one of these, I expect some kind of acknowledgement, and it just made me feel like maybe I should just focus on my own shit. If I really got to make a video to go back to my thoughts before game lock on Sunday to see what I was actually thinking at the moment, then maybe I should just do a personal page for myself on YouTube, that way I can still do it and listening to my thoughts and everything instead of just making a public video for everybody that want to lurk on the channel and not be involved as a community, which we supposed to be, especially if we playing DFS. I know everybody got their certain plays that they don't want nobody else to touch or anything, but if I'm sharing mine, I expect you to share yours with me, or tell me, hey dude, don't put that in your lineup, that's a badass pick, you don't want to do that. I need a no bruh. I need one of them no bruhs that tell me, do not put Schultz in your lineup. No bruh. They got Jarwin. Why you gonna put Schultz? Need one of them kind of folks, man, that's on the YouTube. Like I said, this is a community though. You're supposed to be involved. Hit the like, subscribe, comment below, share the video, leave a rating, subscription on the podcast, hit the bell icon so you know when I'm making another video. That's what it's all about, y'all. If I'm busting my ass with research and everything else, I expect a little bit of appreciation. Enough with that spiel, though. We on a week 4 for DFS. This year has not been going good for me. First 3 weeks, I think the first 2 weeks break even. Last week, lost a good amount of cash, but I'm not tripping because you guys saw my video last week. I was like in a straight up GPP super contrarian state of mind because I wanted to start the season off huge to where I can try different strategies all through the rest of the season. But you know what? I'm gonna go back at it though. I'm still be on super GPP mode, and I'm gonna probably play some Heineke at quarterback and stuff like that. Stuff I would never do in past years. I'm going against the grain. I'm gonna still have some lineups that that's on brand stuff I would normally play, but I'm gonna still be a little bit different. I'm mainly still focusing on single game entries, three entries, 3 max. I'm not gonna really be playing Millie Maker. I'm not playing any cash games, double ups. I never play double ups. I'm like, why should I put in $2 or $1 or $2? Just a dollar. I said $2 or $1 or $2. Oh wow, I didn't even have that much beer yet. But it is my birthday weekend. Tomorrow's my birthday. Libra's in the house. That's why I gotta win the GPP, man. All I want for my birthday is a GPP takedown on Draftkings and Fanduel, Yahoo, whoever. Just let me have a GPP takedown. I don't care if it's the lowest amount that I can win in a GPP at number one. I'll accept it. But I want the big money, though. I want that 100,000 or whatever I'm going for in them single game entries. But let me go to the injuries. Pull up the sleeper app. I was getting a lot of notifications today. Things going on. All right, let's start off from the morning. All right, we down to, let's see. All right, that's good enough. Let's go about 12 hours. It's 12 hours. Let's see. Grunt returned to practice with ribs. Lamar Jackson back with a back in practice for Friday. It's a Grunt sighting, no pads. Safe to assume Shepard and Slayton's out. They will miss week 4. Dalvin Cook with an ankle. Anthony Barr with a knee were on the field participating at the start of practice. Nose tackle Michael Pierce, elbow shoulder, was not. The face the Browns this Sunday. Okay, Richard Sherman, cornerback for the Tampa Bay Bucks now. He'll be active for Sunday night's game versus New England, per Bruce Arians. Gio Bernard, knee out week 4 versus the Patriots. We don't want to talk about the Patriots game. That ain't even on the slate. All right, NFL injury alert. Falcons wide receiver Russell Gage out with an ankle again for week 4 versus the Redskins, the Washington football team. Come on, remember that. Remember that. Washington football team, at least till next year. Hopefully Washington Hogs. All right. Now, Curtis Samuel. I'm noticing he's in a lot of people's mouth now. His name is in a lot of people's mouth. I said I was playing some Heineke, right? He's also in my mouth. Well, his name is. That's it. Nothing else. His name is in my mouth. Because, like I said, I'm thinking about playing Heineke at quarterback. He's been pretty accurate. Been getting, over 20 fantasy points the past 2 weeks. So Curtis Samuel is going to be active. Ron Rivera said he'll be ready to roll. That's some kind of coach speak right there. Hawkinson from the Lions says he's a focal point for defenses, so he think he's going to be shadowed or something by the Bears, maybe. But I know he's going to be the focal point for Jared Goff, definitely, to throw the ball. Titans wide receivers, Julio Jones, A.J. Brown, they are out for Sunday versus the Jets. Rookie cornerback Caleb Farley is also out. Panthers ruled out Christian McCaffrey. We already knew that. His hamstring. Sterling Shepard, Darius Slayton already said they were out. I don't know why that's on the news feed again versus New Orleans. Maybe play some New Orleans defense. I know a lot of people thinking of playing Tony a lot more. Also Collins at wide receiver. That's a good thought. He made double-digit fantasy points, and he is a cheap wide receiver. Andy Dalton was limited in practice, listed questionable for Sunday. Justin Fields is not carrying an injury designation. I don't know if I can play Justin Fields after this past week. But is it me, or does it look like Nagy just put him out there in the wilderness with no protection for his first game? It don't look like it's like Nagy was trying to prove a point when everybody wanted Justin Fields out, and Nagy was so gung-ho on Andy Dalton. And you see this from these coaches all the time. When everybody knows a quarterback is ready to be out there, and they're like, he's not ready. He's not ready. I mean, they might see something that we don't, because it's closed curtain and everything. Beat reporters can't get to a lot of practices most of the time during the season, because they hide in secrets of what they're going to have on game day. So Nagy might be right based on what we saw on the field by Justin Fields last week. In week 3, it was horrible, man. I had him as a first round draft pick in one of my dynasty, and I made me scratch my bald head on that one. Far as the Rams, head coach Sean McVay said Daryl Henderson will be playing this Sunday, so that's putting everybody in a conundrum with Henderson and Sony Michel. Henderson missed out last week with a rib injury. It's a lot of rib injuries this year, man. Shit. I'm used to hamstrings, but it's hamstrings and high ankle sprains. Now it's like damn near every single guy got an injury in the ribs, except for Carson Wentz. He ain't got no ankle, so. Chase Claypool, he didn't practice today. He's listed questionable versus the Packers. Juju and Alex Highsmith, they don't have an injury designation. They're expected to play. Carson Wentz, as I was mentioned before, he's questionable versus the Dolphins. Dolphins defense sound good. I'm just saying. Deontay Johnson, he is not on the injury report yet. Notice I said yet. Because this dude will make sure that he's injured in the game, and he'll catch you a touchdown. Deontay Johnson is hella dramatic when he gets injured on the field, man. I'm telling you, I'm tired of playing Deontay Johnson. He'll get you a touchdown, but he'll get injured. And he be on the field, like he having a seizure or something. He'll go in a tent, come back out, score a touchdown. And before the game is over, he'll get injured again. That's the type of player he is. All right, Rob Gronkowski is doubtful for Sunday night against the Patriots. Why they keep showing all of this stuff? We want to talk about the main slate. Melvin Gordon, ribs, leg, questionable for Sunday. Kittle, officially questionable for week 4. Oh, that sucks. Because I was going to play some Kittle. Elijah Mitchell, status depends on pain tolerance, and that is when he goes through the testing for Saturday. Shanahan said the team will give Mitchell as long as he can to get ready given the current running back situation. So I think that's going to really be a game time decision. They're talking about Saturday, but I think that's going to lead up to game lock. Tyler Lockett, hip, listed questionable for Sunday. Dwayne Estrix, concussion. I haven't seen that dude on the field yet. He's doubtful. Rashad Penny, of course, like always. He is Deontay Johnson at running back. Rashad Penny. He is Carson Wentz at running back. Rashad Penny, ruled out. Packers pass rusher Zadarius Smith underwent back surgery this week. Will be out indefinitely. All right. Marquez Valdez-Scantling is officially out for week 4. Fire up your Cobb. Fire up your Lazard King. And that's pretty much it right there. Let's check out the slate, though, for Sunday. Indiana, Miami. Only thing I see right here that I want to play, maybe Gaskins. Jonathan Taylor is carrying the Q tag right now. Listed questionable. I might play some Pittman. That is, 5,400 on Draftkings. I might play a little bit of, I don't know if I'm going to play Fuller. I might, but I'm more focused on running back on this game and also defense, Dolphins defense and Colts. Houston versus Buffalo. I see a lot of chalk for Josh Allen right now and the Buffalo's defense. Let's check the roster percentage right now. What's Buffalo's defense? Let's see. They are actually only, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. As of Friday afternoon, they're only the 8th highest rostered defense. I thought they would be higher. But at quarterback, Josh Allen is the highest rostered quarterback for Sunday. So I don't know if I want to go there. I mean, that is a decent stack with, like, say, a Stephon Diggs and a Emmanuel Sanders. But do I really want to do that when Josh Allen is the highest rostered quarterback? It's going to be a rain game probably too. Well, as of right now, it's only Friday. That things can change as far as with the weather. I mean, you can play your Beasley, you can play your Brandon Cooks, you can play some Anthony Miller, some Gabriel Davis. I don't know about playing Zach Moss or Singletary because it's questionable, man. Because everybody saw Zach Moss finally go off last week. He got what? A touchdown, 18.1 fantasy points. You got Singletary that didn't have that good of a game, 3.6. I kind of want to back off both of them because it may end up a Singletary game and then Zach Moss don't do anything. Far as with Houston, like I said, Brandon Cooks, Anthony Miller, you can play them. You can play their running backs if you want, but I think the closest thing I'll get to is probably Buffalo defense, maybe Stephon Diggs one-off, or Brandon Cooks mini stack, them in one of the lineups that I have like say a quarterback with two receivers and a bring back or something. Put them in it. Next game, more rain. Detroit Lions versus the Chicago Bears. I'm not playing Jared Goff. I'm not playing Justin Fields. Not that I'm scared or anything of Justin Fields. I know he's cheap. He's only, $5,200 on Draftkings. But we don't know if Andy Dalton's going to play. There's mentions about Foles might even play. Horrible game by Allen Robinson last week. 4.7 fantasy points on Draftkings. And everybody was thinking Fields, Robinson, and Mooney was the stack to play for the Bears. And it went all bad. I mean, you can try to do that. You can try to go back to that same stack and play Swift as a bring back or Hockenson as a bring back, and it might work for you. But Fields, he's bringing a lot of people are rostering him. He's the third rostered quarterback. Top 5: Josh Allen, Dak Prescott, Justin Fields, Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts. That's your top 5 roster percentage at quarterback on a Friday afternoon. So you're taking chances right there. And I think a lot of people are going to have them same similar lineups. If they play Jared Goff, it's going to be Goff, Swift, Hockenson, Allen Robinson bring back, or or they might try to do Quintus Cephas, David Montgomery, Hockenson, and they're going to try to do some kind of bring back like that, game stack. So I think it's just going to be too many duplicate lineups like that. That's going to lead you to the same guys that you build around a lot of times. Tennessee Jets, oh boy. A.J. Brown out, Julio Jones out. I don't want to play Tannehill. I can see myself playing Henry, but I kind of don't want to play Derrick Henry. He's the highest rostered running back on the entire slate. Swift is second highest roster. David Montgomery, number 3. Najee Harris, number 4. Alvin Kamara, number 5. So it's I'm really trying to figure out how I'm going to build these rosters, and it is tough week 4, man. I mean, the chalk for each position is not like a guy is 20% or anything like that. So you can take your chances, but right now Derrick Henry's at 19.3. I think he's going to at least be at 28 to 30%. Mari Cooper's at 19.6. He might end up 20 23, 25% at least, because everybody is on Dallas Cowboys. I mean, they're getting a lot of people putting them in their lineup, highly rostered. But back to this Tennessee Titans and the Jets game, like I said, I can play some Derrick Henry, but it's just that chalk. Corey Davis, maybe, as a mini stack if I put him in a lineup. A lot of guys are getting on to Westbrook Ikheim, wide receiver for the Titans. And also I'm hearing a lot of people thinking of playing Anthony Ferkster at tight end. He's cheap. He's cheap where you can pay up for your high-priced receivers or Derrick Henry, Alvin Kamara. He's been full practice. He had a knee. He's only 3,100 on Draftkings. But I can think about playing the New York Jets on defense and Tennessee Titans on defense as well. Moving on to the KC Chiefs, Philadelphia Eagles. I think this can be one of them high-scoring games. Man, I feel bad for Jalen Hurts, though. He looked hurt. He really looked hurt this past game, man. And it was just horrible. It was horrible to see him that way. What was it, this past Monday night? I think he can go out there and get a decent amount of fantasy points. He did decent when it came to fantasy, but they just sucked. They just sucked on the field. He got 25.54 fantasy points. So I can see maybe playing an Eagle stack. I don't think I would play Miles Sanders, though, with them. Miles Sanders only got 8.5 fantasy points, 6.9 in week 2. He got 17.3 in week 1, but that was against Atlanta. You know, but it might work because the Chiefs' defense has not been that great. As far as KC, well, I'm not finished with Eagles. I can play some Devonta Smith. I think he can go out there and do good. I like that guy, Quez Watkins. I've been on him since, preseason. Dallas Goedert, Zach Ertz. I'm having a hard time which one to pick. You don't know which guy is going to go out there and dominate at tight end. You know, it's been like that for years with Goddard and Ertz, it seemed like. How come both of them just can't blow up? Never know. That may happen. But I couldn't see myself playing the Eagles defense going against Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes last week, man. 27 for 44, 260 yards, 3 touchdowns. He threw 2 interceptions. He did one of them interceptions where he wasn't looking at the guy when he threw it. He just did like that. I think he needs to stop playing games like that because, man, it's going to cost you the season. You trying to be a magician and all of that stuff, just play some football, man. Don't leave the tricks to basketball. Leave the behind the back plays, dunks, and all that alley hoop shit to basketball. Don't do that on a football field, man. You want to play tricks like that? Go play it in the NBA. But yeah, it's going to be tough if you try to do Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce stack with Mahomes. You're probably going to have to. Even though it may not work with a good correlation with Edwards-Helaire, he is only, 5,400 still. He was chalk last week. But I'm glad I didn't fade him, though, because he got 20.9 fantasy points, which was a shock. Because I was like, I don't know if I really should play this dude because he's been playing horrible. And the rest of the DFS community was thinking the same thing, but everybody stuck to their guns and was happy when he got over 20 fantasy points. Tyreek Hill, though, he only got 10.7, 5.9 in week 2, but he got that 40 burger in week 1. Can he get back to that? Can he please get back to that if I put him in a stack, that is. Travis Kelce, he's been consistent all 3 weeks, over 20 fantasy points. But the thing is, the third guy, well, we know who the third guy is. That's going to be later, though. That's going to be Josh Gordon, who just signed with the Kansas City Chiefs. So these other guys going to have to compete. Hartman, Robinson, Pringle. They're going to have to go out there and do something. They're going to have to do damage this week to try to keep their spot. Because say Josh Gordon is all washed up anyway. He ain't been playing football in a while. We don't know what his workout routine was. He may go out there and suck. So these guys really got to try to step to that next level. So yeah, I'm looking into playing some Chiefs, maybe an entire game stack with the Eagles and the Chiefs. All right, moving on to where we at now. I didn't want to go through all the games, but damn, making me want to. Carolina Panthers, Dallas Cowboys. It's going to be chalk. Sam Darnold, Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott, maybe. Pollard, maybe. Might do it. I think I'm going to be playing some Chuba Hubbard. I've been following dude since college. You know, I always rooted for Chuba Hubbard when he was playing college, and I'm not a big college football fan, but when I do, I'm rooting for Hubbard. Well, I did. But as far as wide receiver, like I said, Amari Cooper, highest rostered wide receiver right now. I can probably play more CeeDee Lamb than I play Amari Cooper. I just never been a CeeDee Lamb. I mean, a Amari Cooper fan. DJ Moore, I can see myself playing him. A lot of guys they question if they want to play Robbie Anderson. He only got 1.8 fantasy points last week on DraftKings, 6.8 week 2, 12.7 week 7. Week 1. But we looking at how it's no McCaffrey this week. They may give Chuba Hubbard the ball a lot, but Anderson may pick up some of those downs, those snaps, when it comes to catching the ball, throwing the ball a little bit more. And Terrence Marshall Jr. too, only 40,000 on 4,000 on DraftKings. He may get the ball more, so you may see a touchdown off of both of them. Really, Marshall he did get at least 5 targets last week, 6 in week 1, so it's a possibility. At tight end, yeah, that's a guy, Jarwin and Schultz. Everybody going for Schultz right now. Dude, guess how much he's rostered at Friday afternoon? He's the third rostered tight end. And that's what's crazy to me, though, because you got Blake Jarwin there. I know he got over double what Blake Jarwin got so far. But it's not like Blake Jarwin is completely phased out, when I believe he's running more routes than Schultz, even though Schultz got more fantasy points. He got 7 targets last week, 6 in week 1. But I can see Blake Jarwin going out there and getting a touchdown, and Schultz only going out there and getting 20 yards on 2 catches. And that's why when I was looking at the roster percentage earlier, man, when I saw that, I'm like, at first I was going to put Schultz, Prescott, and CeeDee Lamb in a game stack with Chuba Hubbard to bring it back, or DJ Moore, and then I saw how high Schultz was rostered. I'm like, I don't know if I could do that. Maybe 1 or 2 lineups, but I don't know. That's a chance, man. All right, moving on, though. Oh, by the way, I think I can play Dallas defense, too. I can see myself playing the Cowboys defense because I see how a lot of guys are flocking to Sam Darnold, and say he don't go out there and put out a good game, and he starts seeing ghosts. You know, when he was seeing them ghosts in in New York, when he was with the New York Jets, he started seeing ghosts and throwing interceptions. he might go out there and see like ghosts of old Dallas Cowboy players that were cornerbacks and good at making interceptions, and be like, oh shit, there goes a interception there, interception here, you know. So yeah, you know, it's just a ghost game. You know, you just gotta have fun with it. It was funny when he said it. Anyway, moving on to the New York Giants and the New Orleans Saints. I don't think I'm going to play any Winston. I don't think I'm going to play any Daniel Jones. But hey, I can see why somebody would play Daniel Jones in a Giant stack, knowing that they got minimum targets. You can play Saquon Barkley, stack him with a Galladay or say a Kadarius Toney that a lot of people are checking out because he's only 3,300. Then you got Collins Johnson. It's only 3,200. It's a real cheap stack. If you want to do something like that, you don't even have to play Saquon. You could just stack him with those two cheap wide receivers, knowing that they are likely going to be on the field a lot more, and then you can have a bring back with Alvin Kamara. I can see someone doing that. I'm not, but you can. Callaway, I don't think I'm going to mess with. I can get with some Kamara. I can play some New Orleans defense. That's probably what I'm going to do with that. Maybe Evan Ingram. This dude is rostered pretty high, too. Yeah, he's the number one roster tight end on Draftkings. Evan Ingram. So a lot of guys are looking at him because of the minimum amount of wide receivers the Giants got to. One of them teams. All right, moving on to the Cleveland Browns and the Vikings. I don't think I'm going to play any Mayfield. I might play some Cousins. I'm going to play some Cook. I'll play some Chubb, Hunt, some Thielen, Jefferson, Beckham. I don't know if I'm going to play KJ Osborne. What did he do last week? I know a lot of us was on KJ. He got 4.6 fantasy points after having double digits first 2 weeks. Everybody thought he was a thing, but we caught the train too late. Conklin's actually going to be active. He had a questionable tag throughout the week, but no injury designation. Austin Hooper might be a sneaky play at tight end. Defense, I can probably play some Vikings defense or Browns defense, maybe. Washington Redskins, this is a game I'm really thinking about playing. Heineke at quarterback. I mean, he did, like I said, put up double-digit fantasy points. Well, over 20 fantasy points the past 2 weeks. And he basically got the same interception rate as Patrick Mahomes this year. He threw 1 interception week 2, 2 last week. I'm hoping he don't throw no more interceptions. And I don't think he got to worry about that too much going against the Falcons defense, who sucks. So I'm thinking about playing like some Heineke, some Terry McLaurin, and Logan Thomas, or maybe Curtis Samuel since he's back. I don't know, but I like putting my quarterback with my tight end and a receiver. So I might do that and then play like a bring back. I know a lot of people don't want to play Cordell Patterson. He's one of my favorite kick returners ever. He's good at all multiple positions, running back and wide receiver. It just depends on how many minutes he's going to get on that field. You know, how many snaps. Them snaps is important, but he's sharing a lot of snaps with Mike Davis. So I can see that happen. But I can see if I play Curtis Samuel instead of Logan Thomas, then I can put Kyle Pitts at tight end because I know a lot of people are off of Kyle Pitts after he's been having a horrible rookie season after we had high expectations for him, and it's just not showing up. I mean, he had double-digit fantasy points in week 2, but it was like he only got how many yards? Well, no, he got a decent amount, 73 yards in week 2, but 31, 35 for week 1 and week 3. And not even getting a touchdown, man. He's not getting there, but I can see myself playing him while the rest of the field is getting off of him. As far as defense, maybe the Redskins. Moving on to Seattle, San Francisco, I can see myself playing a lot of this game. Russell Wilson. Not playing on Garoppolo because I know they're going to probably put Trey Lance out there to be like a Taysom Hill or something. Chris Carson, I don't know. Maybe. Elijah Mitchell, he's still questionable right now. If he plays, I might play him. Trey Sermons, I can play him if Elijah Mitchell isn't playing. Them running backs with San Francisco, though, it's tough. It's tough picking them. Wide receiver, I can play some Metcalf, Debo Samuel, Ayuk. I can see myself playing them. Maybe Tyler Lockett, but he got a Q tag right now. And he had a bad game last week when Started off pretty cool first 2 weeks. Last week was a Metcalf week, though. I don't know. It might be another Metcalf week. We'll see. But it's hard to play both of those two with stacked with Russell Wilson. So I might have to play like one or the other. And since Gerald Everett is out with COVID-19, play Will Disley at tight end. George Kittle is questionable, like I said. So that sucks for me. I thought I had him on the bring back. All right, moving on to Arizona and the Rams. I can see a lot of people playing this game. Kyler Murray, Matthew Stafford. It may be a shootout. I can play them. Darrell Henderson, he's going to be playing. Like I said, maybe Sony Michel as a sneaky play. Chase Edmonds, I can see myself playing him. Cooper Kupp, who's like the highest price wide receiver on Fanduel. And I think he's like, third price wide receiver on Draftkings. You can play Nuke, you know that. And don't forget to play Robert Woods, Bobby Trees, or whatever you want to call him. Christian Kirk, Rondell Moore. But everybody complained about how Rondell Moore don't get that many snaps. But he came in the first 2 weeks, did pretty good. Last week he just didn't have it. He only got 2 targets. Week 2 he got 8 targets. He got 7 for 8. So when you talk about he don't get on the field that much, don't leave out week 2 when he got that many targets. And the guy can play. He's a good rookie. And they like to use him in gadgets and all that, but sometimes that shit works, man. Just don't overlook it. I don't know. I like gadget players like that. Him, Patterson. Yeah, I just don't like Taysom Hill. But at tight end, I can play some Tyler Higbee. I can see myself doing that. Also on defense, I think I can play either one of them defenses because, Kyler Murray, yeah, he scrambled away from the defensive line, but all he got to do is slip a few times. And that Rams defense, pass rush, get him, tackle him, sack him, and he fumbled the ball. They go in for a fumble recovery touchdown. Or say how Matthew Stafford throws the ball a lot. He can throw some interceptions and somebody can get a pick six. It's going to be a lot of activity. It's a fast-paced game. When you play in the Cardinals, it's going to be fast-paced. So I can see myself playing both sides of that field on defense as well as the offense. Almost down to the last 2 games now. Baltimore Ravens, Denver Broncos. I don't want to touch this game that much. Lamar Jackson, he got a back. Bridgewater, he disappointed me last week. I might give it a chance again and play Denver because Baltimore defense has not been doing that good. And Bridgewater does have some pieces to throw to. And Melvin Gordon's injured, so he might not even be on the field that much. So it might be a Javonte Williams game at running back, but they might get the ball to the receivers a lot more, especially if Lamar running the ball a lot, running timeout, and say if Baltimore is ahead, Bridgewater may need to do that catch-up mode and throw to a Sutton and also Tim Patrick. Jerry Jeudy on IR, KJ Hamler on IR. See, that's similar to the Giants. They're down receivers. They got a lot of pieces just like the Giants, but they getting these guys on IR now. But I can see myself playing some Noah Fant. I can see myself playing some Mark Andrews at tight end. Right wide receiver, I might take chances on Malcolm Brown if I do a Raven stack. And I can play some Denver defense. If Lamar Jackson ain't up to it, he already got a bad back this game. So I can take some chances with that. All right, last game. Look like some rain in this one too. Green Bay Packers versus Pittsburgh Steelers. It's a Roethlisberger road game, if that's still a thing out there. I can see myself playing Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams, Aaron Jones. I can play some Robert Tonyan with no Valdez-Scantling, along with maybe some Lazard, some what's the new Rodgers guy? Armand Rodgers. I can see myself trying to mess with this game a lot. The Steelers and Green Bay Packers, because they look at, the young DFS community, they new thing this year. I don't know how long it's been going, but it seemed like this new year, their favorite word is dusty. When players aren't doing that great, or it's an older player, their word is dusty. So is my lineup going to look dusty if I play Aaron Rodgers at quarterback? Or maybe say if I want to take my chances on Ben Roethlisberger, who has not been playing. Okay, maybe he is dusty. I'll give him that. Maybe he is dusty. And I don't want to play Deontay Johnson, who might get injured too. And, Claypool's questionable. Juju, he don't have an injury tag, but at first he was dealing with ribs. I can see myself with a bring back like Firemouth, though, or Eric Ebron. I do want to play some Najee Harris, though. So there's multiple ways I can do a bring back on this game. And I can play some Green Bay Packers defense if Roethlisberger is actually dusty. That word just sounds funny to me. When I hear folks say a player is dusty. Wow. They got to come up with better words, man, than that. But it's hilarious just to listen to it. But that's pretty much what I got on this slate to tell you as far as like what I'm thinking and everything. I know this is much of a longer video than I normally do. I haven't did no shit like this since week 1. Well, before week 1, like when they first released the slates and the lineups, and we was trying to figure out everything on the preseason. But you never know. I might start doing some more stuff like this. Plus, when you start drinking, you start thinking and talking a lot. And now it's time for me to go smoke some weed to slow my ass down. But yeah, that's what I have for you guys. Make sure you click the like, subscribe, comment below, hit the bell icon so you know the next time I'm making a video on the podcast. Leave a rating and review. If you want me to continue making these videos, man, you got to be involved, because if not, I can just make this a private video to listen my thoughts that I'm having on a Friday night or a Friday afternoon, where I walk in Sunday with that same state of mind and don't forget what players I was on. But if you want me to continue sharing my thoughts and listen to your thoughts in the comments too, get involved. Don't just stare at my face. I know I'm ugly, but your mama don't think so. But yeah, I'm out it, man. Shoot, this is Otto Wynn Williams for the 411 podcast. Y'all stay blessed, stay safe, make a lot of money, and I'm out. Peace.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the 411 podcast. Now get ready to make that money. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter at the 411 DFS.